now you're vibrating in your chair. Could be anticipation with what I'm going to say. It could be just that you feel like I'm feeling pretty good. But vibration happens all around us. And of course, we need to know our why. We need to know our why. Then we need to set our goals. And from that, we'll have people seeking us out, literally looking for you, yelling your name. Where are you, Blake? Where are you, Sabaj? Where are you? I need your help. Who's into that? People seeking you rather than you hunting them. Okay. Well, let's start off with a video. This video, I think, is going to shock you. This video is some of the best in the world. There's only 20 of these athletes in the world that can do what these guys do. 20. Think about that. Only 20. And you're going to be in awe. Either you're going to love what these guys do, or you go, I can never do that myself. I'm on the awe side of it, by the way. So let's run the video, and we'll come back. Your worst day on the beach is their best day on the beach. The anticipation. Boom. My favorite is coming up. Just hang on. 115 feet in the air from flat water. This guy goes about a mile down the lake. How is that? Who's on the side of like, I got to get up there and do this right now? Let's go! I am a kite surfer. I love to do that. I don't jump 100 plus feet. My best is about 30 feet, but the rush is unbelievable. Enough about that. Let's talk about your why. This fellow here, Lewis Crathorne, is one of these athletes that can jump 100 plus feet. I met him a number of years ago, and just a great, great guy from the UK. Now his why, because we're talking about our why, right? His why is very simple. His why was, how many countries can I go and kite at? How many beaches can I do it from? And how high can I jump? He wanted to be the best in the world. And there's a competition in South Africa that's called the Red Bull King of the Air. You get scored by how high you jump, and of course, how many tricks you can pull off while you're 100 plus feet in the air. Now this is a trick that he's doing. It's called a kite loop. And you can see that the kite is actually almost below him. So a single kite loop is pretty technical. So you leap into the air, then you wrap that kite around in the air and hope you hang on. So Lewis had won this competition a number of times, and he was bound and determined to do it again. And he thought, man, if I could do 2 kite loops in one trick, it'd be a shoe-in. It'd be an absolute shoe-in. On this photo, it's just starting to round to the second. when tragedy happens. The kite goes through the air, it collapses, and he has no air in that kite to hold him at that point. He plummets some 100 feet to the water, hits the water so hard, sound effect, knocks himself out. He's unconscious. He's about 500 meters offshore, laying in the water, and he begins to drown. No rescue comes for him. They hadn't had a rescue before. Why would they need a rescue now? He now drowns 500 meters offshore. A fellow kiter recognizes the urgency of this, kites over, grabs him by the harness, and starts dragging him to the shore. They get him to shore, now rescue's there, and they begin doing CPR on him. Again and again and again. No response. Finally he comes to. He survived. He's concussed. He's got internal bleeding. And he now spends the next 2 weeks in Cape Town Hospital. You can see he still looks a little bit dazed there, doesn't he? A saltwater drowning is very, very dangerous. On top of that, internal bleeding. On top of that, a concussion. You can see the photo in the background. They're showing it off like he survived. And so Lewis did survive that horrific crash. We're going to come back to Lewis's why in a bit. But today we're talking about our why in real estate. And our why drives our goals, and our goals fulfill our why. Think about this. You need a super strong why. You need to know why you do what you do. And then you set your goals, and then your goals actually fulfill your why. Now, I don't know about you, but man, I struggled understanding my why for years and years and years. Does anybody struggle with their why? No hands? Everybody knows their why. That's fantastic. Okay, I got a few hands. The why is the most important thing. It's why we get up and do what we do every day. So I came up with 4 things that help us understand our why. And this was really, really beneficial for me. Number 1, what makes you come alive every morning? Like, what gets you out of bed and go, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get at it today? What makes you come alive? Number 2, what is your superpower? And I'm not talking about jumping tall buildings. I'm not talking about lightning bolts out of my fingers. I'm talking about your superpower. It could be you're a great cook. You're a networker. Phil, you're a singer. That's one of your superpowers. We have a man in the audience here that was on The Voice. His superpower is singing. Like if he got on stage right now and sang, that would be his superpower, or at least one of them. How about an underdog? Who's an underdog in this room besides me? That could be your superpower. So your superpower is very, very important. And then you need to add great value to others. Do you bring great value by what you're doing? What your why is? Do you bring great value? And last but not least, does it define who you are? Does it really define who you are? When you're not here, when you're not in the room, do people talk about you because of your why? So, does it make you come alive? Does it tap into your superpower? Do you bring great value? And can you measure your life by it? I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity on that. But your why is always changing. It should be anyways. My why when I started real estate in 1992 was really, really, really simple. See, I had a mortgage, a car payment, I had the bank knocking on my door, foreclosing on me. I had a child, I had another child. My wife was like 7 months pregnant, on the way. I had a negative net worth. And my only why was, how am I going to sell a house today? It was so simple. And I was going to do anything I could, anything that I had to, because my life depended on it. My wife depended on it. My child, my future child depended on it. How do we have that kind of urgency in our lives? Do you have that today? I mean, this is a tough, tough market. Enough of this bullshit of just kind of coasting. Urgency, compression of what you're doing is so important. So our why is constantly changing, and it changes because whatever happens. My why today is so different, it's so philosophical compared to what it was. And often that changes because of things that happen in our lives. Either tragedy or greatness happens. Would your why change if you got a $10 million check today? If I said, hey, I got 10 million bucks for you today, would your why change in that moment, right? How about if something tragic happened? You lost somebody that you really loved. It would change as well, probably. Well, we now come back to Lewis. See, Lewis had a simple why. How many countries, how many beaches, and how high can I frickin' jump? And that tragic accident changed his why. Today, Lewis does what he does. What makes him come alive? Kite surfing, kiteboarding, kite jumping. And he uses his superpower, which means that he can jump extremely high into the sky, but now he needs to bring value. Before it was just about him. Today he travels the world and tells the world about the power of wind and how it can be sustainable in keeping our earth alive. See, that tragedy changed the way Lewis looked at it. And today, the story that he tells, or the people tell about Lewis, is significantly different. What is happening in your world right now that is changing maybe what you're thinking about your why? Is this market changing it? I don't know, it's changed mine. Market's tough. My why has changed from the beginning of the year to what it is today. So Lewis now travels the world. He talks to students in boardrooms or in classrooms. He's spreading the word about what wind is, and his why is now significantly different than what it was because of that circumstance that he had, that tragic accident he had. So the vibration of why, and I've learned a few hacks along the way that have helped me understand this, understand my why, understand my goals, and help me get them through that. But your why, again, drives your goals, and your goals fulfill your why. So here's some hacks I've got. Are you ready? Who wants a hack? We all want a hack, don't we? What a great word that is, hack. Anyways, 42% of us will accomplish what we want through our why and through our goals if we write them down. Incredible stat. And so I asked the question, is there anybody in this room, and not on your phone, but has their goals or a why or a combination of that written down? Anybody in the room got that written down? Because I've got a $100 bill. If somebody can show me that they've got their why or their goals written down in front of them. Who's got that?
In front of us right now?
Right now. Right now. Who's got that? Anybody? What's that? Anybody? Okay, there we go. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, there's a $100 bill. Man, we're just throwing money out everywhere here today, aren't we? Okay. I asked for them to be written down. Well, we'll run with that. We need to work with it, so we'll run with that. So 42% more likely to achieve your goals when they're written down. And by the way, hang on to that money. We're coming back to that. You're going to be part of this yet to come. You don't get off that easy. Number 2, and this one is so important. What's the 2 greatest gifts that you were given when you were birthed? What are the 2 greatest gifts that you have as a child? Curiosity and imagination. Curiosity and imagination, we're given it in spades when we're born. And then what happens through life? We kind of get caught up in everything, and we lose our curiosity, and we let our imagination go away. Bob Proctor has an amazing quote. There are only 2 constraints which come in the way of your success. weakness of your attention or the weakness of your mind and the poverty of imagination. Think about that. The weakness of your mind and the poverty of your imagination. Poverty is over here, and your imagination has no limits, and it is way over there. Think about that. Such a contrast. I've dumbed down this quote, and this is my version of it. When you shut down your curiosity and turn off your imagination, you sabotage the greatness within. Think about that. You've got curiosity that's just given to you, just as in you, and the imagination, and yet we turn them off and we sabotage the greatness within us. I'm going to encourage you to be more curious and let your imagination run wild. And the best way to let your imagination run wild is to turn off your hard drive, because everything of the past we keep pulling forward, right? Whatever happened yesterday, we keep pulling forward and we sabotage that greatness. I'm not done yet, Sean. So powered by our curiosity, imagination, our why, our goals, our vibration, we manifest greatness around us. And when we manifest greatness, greatness finds us. People find you. And this is my point, is we need to stop hunting for clients and have them seek us out. So we can control that energy, and what we obsess and vibrate about, I don't know what you guys think of vibrate, but what we vibrate about, we attract into our world. So let's understand what we vibrate about. Of course, we vibrate about love. I met my wife 38 years ago across a parking lot in college. She looked at me, I looked at her. It was a done deal. You know when you know, right? You know when you know. And so we vibrate about all kinds of things. We vibrate about love. We vibrate about deals and transactions. I don't know about you, but I vibrate about business and transactions and deals. I just can't wait to get a bunch done. Does anybody else do that? Yes, thank you. How about business partnerships and teams? We need to find the right people to do business with, to have partnerships with. Who runs a team in here? Sean, I know you run a team. There's a number of people that run teams. This is so important that they are on the same frequency and the same vibration level as of you. And vice versa. It goes both ways. It's leveraged both ways. Life events, of course. I have a vibration event coming up. Oh my goodness. I'm going to be a grandpa in 30 days. I am vibrating about that. I'm emotional about that. A baby grandson. Wow, can't wait. And of course, my faith. I'm a believer. We all have beliefs in something. You'll have a faith of whatever. We need to vibrate about what we believe in and what the spirit world will give us as well. So let's put this into practice. The vibration sandwich, I call it. Who likes sandwiches that look like that? That's a pretty delicious sandwich. Tell me, what is better? Is it the bread that makes the sandwich or the fixins in the middle that make the sandwich? All the above, right? Well, this is right. We need all of the above, but you need the bread and the fixins. So this is how it works. The top layer or the top piece of bread is the intellectual part. That's where I'm going to start with making my goal of what I want. And then once I've got that, I have to tie something in the middle. I have to bring some emotion to it, which is the fixins. This is the most important part. If I don't tie something into the middle emotionally, if there's no meat in the sandwich, what's the sandwich? There's no sandwich. So that's the most important, the emotion piece. And then the last is like, I gotta get this shit done. It's physically where I gotta go at it. Very important. So let's put that into practice, in a process. So if I want to sell 3 or 30 homes, who wants to sell 30 homes a month in this room? Is there people? I know there's a few people. Who wants to sell 3 a month? Come on, there's 3 in a month, right? So that's the top of the sandwich. That's what I'm thinking. I got to get 3 sales done or 30 sales done. Then I have to tie something emotional to it. For me, it's property. I love, love, love property. And so that's the emotional state. So if I can sell 3 homes, I can buy that next investment property. Or it might be a yellow Ferrari. Who would pick the yellow Ferrari over property in this room? Anybody? Sean. I like the F word. The F word for me is freedom. That's what I want to get out of doing 30 deals. It gives me freedom. And then last is the bottom piece of that sandwich, and that's where the fear, uncertainty, and doubt comes into your mind. Who's had fear, uncertainty, and doubt about life, about deals, about business? And this is where we push through all that BS and we get it done. You got to have the 3 pieces of that sandwich, the top, the middle, and the bottom to get things done. So when we do that, the law of attraction seems to find you. The frequency of what we're doing, the vibration of what we're doing comes, and the harmony of that brings an amazing attitude about people surrounding yourself and coming to you. And if we just look at frequency, for instance, there's the harmony of the radiating, the attitude. When you're not on the right station, of course, people aren't going to get you. So you got to find your tribe. So if you like country and you're listening to classic rock and roll, it's not going to work. So when you know who you are, you know your why, and your goals align with your why, and you're sending out the world who you really are, your tribe appears, you're on the same frequency. It's pretty easy then. Pretty easy then. So you're the sum of all of these things. So who in this room would like what you think is the perfect client to show up at your doorstep every morning or give you a call every day? I mean, Sean's got him in his DMs. I don't have him in my DMs, but I have people reach out to me daily and seek me out because of what I've done and how I present myself. We want to find the perfect avatar or the perfect client that shows up each and every day in our DM box or my phone call or a text or whatever that is. And how do we know who that person is? Well, you have to define. You get to define who that person is. And we got to get granular to understand that. So let's just have an example. If the perfect client for me is a 65-year-old couple, I need to envision who that person or that couple is. I need to see the color of their hair. In most cases, at 65, it's going to be gray like mine. But I need to envision that. I need to envision what color eyes they are. I need to know their names. I have to name those people. I have to know their shoe size, their waist size, where they shop, what their net worth is, where they like the holiday, where they eat. You have to build it out so clear in your mind that these people are now yelling your name. Where is Randy? I need Randy. I have not met these people. But because I am manifesting it, it is going to appear. They will appear. And some of you might go, well, that's kind of bullshit, Randy. No. I get these thoughts in my head all the time, and I go, that name, I have to call that name. And I call that name, they go, hey, we're just thinking about you. We want to have you come over and sell our house. We have a daughter that's ready to buy. Can you help? This happens to me all the time. Who's had this? Do you act on it in that moment? Yes. If you don't, shame on you, because they're yelling and screaming your name. Come and help me right now. So they begin to seek you rather than hunt. Hey, tell me what a wild animal does when it's being hunted. It runs for its life. Why do we keep hunting clients when we can have them seek us out? So this can happen in anything from production to agent attraction to anything. But another thing that I've really found true for myself is rather than trying to figure out the how, I try and figure out who the who is that can help me with the how. A great book. Benjamin Hardy's written this book called Who Not How. Pick it up, read it. Amazing read, amazing read. Find the who rather than trying to figure out the how. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up here. Why are these goals so important? And why is your why so important? And when we do, we need to read them daily. We need to imprint them intellectually and emotionally in our hearts. Intellectually in our mind, emotionally in our hearts. And then the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and BS that enters our mind can vanish. Where's that $100 bill? Can you hold it high? It's already spent. Amazon.com. Okay, I have my own $100 bill. But if you could see, it's got lots of writing on it. On one side, I have my why. On the other side, I have my goals for the year. See, emotion powers Randy. When I'm feeling the fear, uncertainty, of doubt of whatever I'm accomplishing or trying to accomplish that day, I reach in my pocket. This $100 bill goes with me everywhere I go. And when I'm being challenged, before I got on stage, I reached into my pocket. Oh yeah, this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to encourage you to get a $100 bill. I wish I could get $1,000 or a $10,000 bill because, man, I wouldn't lose that. Every once in a while, this kind of disappears in my house. I go, where's my 100? Jolene, where did you wash my 100? Everybody on my team has one of these. We do this every January, and I can stand up in a meeting and say, who's got their goals, their why with them? The beauty of this is you can see how it's almost blurred out. I get to rewrite this every month, and writing it changes how that happens. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. That keeps me going every day and makes me understand why I do what I do and chase my goals. Your why drives your goals, and your goals fulfill your why. And what is the story that you're going to leave behind? What are the people going to say when you leave the room? This is how powerful your why needs to be, and then you can set your goals, and your goals fulfill that why. Is your story worth others telling? So, think big. Think big like this dude. He's got a simple why. He's just trying to jump to the moon. But we've got a really big why. We have the opportunity to help not just hundreds, but thousands and thousands of people with their dreams of helping them buy and sell real estate. Make sure your why aligns with who you are and what you want to accomplish. Build your goals around that, and go out and tell a story that is unbelievable. Thank you. And you're welcome to come and see my why and my goals if you like. Did you want me to?
Yeah, so we get your pictures and everything for Randy. We're going to pick them up right here. That's not going to actually. So, Mr. Real Estate Group. M Real Estate Group. A little dyslexic here. I thought we were going to get a gap here. No. So how much money we giving away here?
Money